Previously on the Dead Dragon Society After Dark.
Yes, I am playing Pierce.
My character's name is Jonk, the Junkyard Spellslinger.
But I'm Jan. Nice to meet you. We're monster hunters.
You guys are on thin ice at the organization. We have heard reports of a meteor shower. Unlike anything we've seen before, go investigate that. Bring us back a sample of the meteor. And as you go through the fog, you see a sign that says, "Welcome to New Fandolin."
I'm going to stop for a second, though. I just got to pull over here because
You hear a slurping, slopping sound outside the gas station.
oh, for God's sakes. And then I roll down the window and I pull out my handgun and I shoot at the mess.
You see the monster fade into the fog, and you see a person exit, saying, "What the hell are you?" She's like whisper shouting at you, like, "What are you doing? Do you have a gun? What's the matter with you?" You see this? She holds up her nameplate. Name's Nichelle. Everyone in this town has tried to leave, only to come back to that damn welcome sign. Seems to be very interested in the diner. We're safe once we're inside, but it's gonna be difficult getting in. It is a four-legged creature. As you get closer to the diner, you hear that same slurping sound. Closer towards its head, there is nothing but a maw of like toothed tendrils, and it engulfs and eats Nichelle.
It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Back to Pierce. Pierce, you charge in with your book strapped to your chest and your sword ready. Roll protect someone. So roll plus tough.
Oh, Jesus, tough is my worst one. Wow. 3.
You try to get in between Jan and the foot of the beast, and you do, and it is not effective, and you are both thrown into Blackthorn's hardware store. I know I said Shatner's hardware store earlier.
Yeah,
that's not
you
right.
did.
But that's not what it is. It is Blackthorn's hardware store. Jan, you are going to take one harm.
Okay.
Pierce, you are also going to take one harm.
Okay.
Back to Jonk, the beast is in front of you. You have the keys to the diner now, and your compatriots have been thrown aside. What do you do?
I want to look. If I touch her body, will it hurt me?
No.
All right. I grab the keys and I grab her and I start running towards the diner and I'm like, I think we can save her.
Roll act under pressure for me. Roll plus cool.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, you get a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. Okay, you can make it to the diner, but you are going to leave your friends behind. And so that's what I'm going to say happens is you make it to the diner and you realize that in your panic, you have left your friends behind and you turn around and you see them with you have dodged the monster. It doesn't realize that you are around, maybe because you're like masked by its sense. And you look at the monster that has its eyes trained directly on your friends. Back to Jan and Pierce, what do you guys do? The monster currently looks at you and screeches, and you see like the inside of its maw, almost like right down to its stomach.
We're in a hardware store.
You are outside. Yeah, you are in a hardware store. You've been thrown through the window.
I would like to take a quick look around and see if I can grab an axe.
Yeah, I'd say, there's an axe. It's a hardware store. Yeah.
I was just looking at my gear list and I noticed that sledgehammer or fire axe is on there, and I was like, that could be fun.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Sure.
Cool. I'm going to grab a fire axe off the wall and take the cardboard off of it, a little head of it. I'm going to go, oh yeah, this will do nicely.
Excellent. You look around the hardware store and there are like small like Americana pictures of horses and planes and that kind of thing that adorn sort of the upper walls of it. And every like firearm and axe and like item of destruction you could possibly imagine that is like consumer grade is in this hardware store. And also like the section that's all like screws and washers and stuff.
I'm also going to take a pocket of...
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
I am going to take a second to like scope out the hardware store. So, and then can I do read a bad situation?
Yeah, roll to read a bad situation. So plus sharp.
Dude, my rolls. 4.
Mark experience. Where are you at on the experience chart?
3.
Remind that you also have luck. And so if you want to turn a failure to a complete success, you have 3 options to do so before luck is turned against you.
Okay. Can I do that now?
Yes, you may.
Even with the experience?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll do that now.
Okay, cool. So on a 10 plus, hold 3. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers I haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
I'm going to go with what's my best way out?
Through the back. You turn around and you see that there's a rear like emergency exit sign.
What's the best way to protect the victims?
The best way to protect the victims is the opposite way of the exit sign, and it is to get the attention of the beast to be able to let Jan escape.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yes.
We're in a room full of firearms.
Yes. You look around and there are firearms missing. I'll give you that.
Also, I love how you did this sheet for me. And on my sheet, it just has a dash and says yes to that question. Jan, we got to go this way. And I try to take her to the back door.
Sprinting past the monster and has not been noticed, Jonk, the junkyard spellslinger, is currently carrying half a digested corpse, just the bottom half, just the feet.
I thought it was the top half.
No, because she went in face first, and so she's got just the bottom feet. You have like the keys that are kind of like jingling on your other hand as you make your way towards the diner. You hear I like to think that you're saying like, guys, we almost made it, and the inside of your head, and you turn around, your compatriots are nowhere to be seen, and you see the Froghemoth, which is the name of the monster, because I'm tired of saying the beast. You see the Froghemoth, because it looks kind of like a frog, and it's like a behemoth. You see it approaching Blackthorn's hardware store. Pierce and Jan are on the inside of the store. Jan is currently closer to the monster, and Pierce is currently like scrambling away, making for the back exit. Who knows? Jan, what do you do?
Holding my fire axe, looking at the monster and looking at Pierce, who's just shouted at me to back door.
Yep.
And I've just seen Jonk, the junkyard spellcaster, carrying just a disturbing lower half of a woman into the diner. So I'm going to make a break for the back door to get to the diner.
Okay, sure. Also, a quick detail. The bottom half of the apron is still attached.
Yeah, they're still decent. It's just disturbing. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
like
that's right.
heaviness.
Apron pants is all still there. It's just, the top half is not.
As you're running with it, like just like straws and like tissues and ketchup packets are falling out.
No tips, though.
Tragic.
They don't use money.
Haven't had need for it for who knows how long.
5 years.
You, Jan, are going to roll to act under pressure to get away from the Froghemoth and make a break for the back door.
7.
On 7 to 9, the keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. You do it, and you make your way to the back door, but you trip over and push down Pierce, who is currently on his way. And so you stop him from being able to get to the back door at the same time as you. And the Froghemoth bursts into the hardware store, gives like a big like hissing roar, kind of like sounds like 3 or 4 geese all together. And it is going to attack Pierce.
I go, Pierce, what are you doing? We gotta go.
And it is going to grab Pierce. Pierce, the monster, reaches its big, long, sort of frog-like hands through the aisles, past all of the nuts and bolts and washers and stuff, and grabs you. Roll plus tough.
Can I swing down with my sword at it?
Not yet.
Okay. Finally. 10.
On 10 plus, the hunter breaks free and may inflict harm on the Froghemoth as they escape. Describe your hit.
As the hand is moving towards me, I'm going to go ahead and cut down on its like frog fingers.
Sure.
Kind of like a mom would smack the back of your hand.
Okay, I'm going to say that inflicts 2. What does your sword say? What is the beside it? Should say how much harm it says.
True. 2 harm.
Okay, that'll take 2 harm. Got it.
I yell at Jan. Jan, don't worry about me. Run, run.
Jan, you make it to the back door, and before you get there, you feel a hand on the back of your shirt that pulls you into a trap door.
Hey now.
And you hear, you hear Jan scream from the back.
I go, Jesus Christ!
And the froghemoth this whole time loses a couple of its fingers,
I'm running towards the back.
screeches, and backs out of the hardware store, jumps onto the roof, and you hear that, and like more dust comes down from the rafters. And you hear it jump further down, like the series of buildings, further away, back sort of towards the gas station.
I am trying to run towards the source of the screams. So can I see the back door?
Yeah, you see the back door. It's sort of lit with like an emergency exit sign.
Okay. I'm going to jump in.
Jump into the trapdoor?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You see the trapdoor on the ground. And as the monster sort of jumps away, you see someone push the top of the trapdoor up, and their head pokes out, and it's a woman with long, sort of straight hair and bangs. It says, "Oh, you got lucky. Come on, get inside. Get inside."
I sheathe my sword and I go inside.
Jonk, on the other side of the street, you don't see any of this happen, and you see the froghemoth screeching, leaking like sort of blue, like electric blue blood, jumps on the top of the hardware store, and then runs away. What do? You are currently holding the lower half of a torso and keys. And you are at the front of the diner.
Let's have a blast. Okay. I look around. It's not quite it. I'm trying to figure out this voice again. I keep forgetting it.
We love it.
I see it run away. And I see my friends. I can't see them in the shop anymore, so I think I would start running towards the shop to make sure everything's okay. And I'm still holding the body and the keys as I run towards the shop.
Yeah, you run towards the shop.
Before going further, is the frog clearly like leaving?
As far as you know, it is jumped off into the fog. You aren't sure where it is or when it'll come back, but it is momentarily retreated.
Are you guys okay? I scream out.
You hear a muffle. So the two of you, are in an underground bunker. You are inside where the town has been keeping its stores of food for the last who knows how long, and there's like rations that are stacked up on shelves that are definitely not as full as they used to be. There's a small light in the middle of the room that is just a single bulb illuminated by a chain, and there is a desk in the back that is currently like filled with sort of like scientific equipment almost. And the woman who is down there says, "All right, everyone keep quiet." And she's like looking up. She doesn't know who Jonk is. And she turns to the two of you and say, Do you know him? Is he with you? What's going on? He could be a raider.
First of all, I look around for the Raisin Bran. Is there any Raisin
No
Bran?
Raisin Bran to be found.
I yell out, "No, we're not."
I'm introducing myself. I'm still sitting on the floor from where she pulled me down. I'm like, with my gun trained on her. I go, "Hi, I'm Jan. We come from East Vashon. We're monster hunters. We got stuck in your town."
Did Nichelle get you? Where's Nichelle? What happened to her?
Oh, Nichelle got us, and then she got.
What do you mean she got?
I don't know how else to explain it other than the monster ate her.
God damn it! And she pounds her fist on the table of research, and you see like all of these various beakers and scientific equipment jump up and down. And she says, "God, she was one of the only good ones left here."
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. He says, "Well, God, if there's ever a time to do this, now it is." He says, "Do you know that person walking around upstairs? Can we?"
Unfortunately, we do.
Is he safe? Is he a raider?
He's safe. He's fine. He's just an idiot.
Okay, and then could you just go get him? And she starts collecting some stuff off the table.
This actually looks really interesting. Jan, why don't you go get him?
Yeah, I just poke my hand up on the trapdoor and I go, "Jonk, the junkyard spellcaster."
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, it's Jan. Come over here. We're in this little bunker over here.
Okay, cool. I saved her. You guys don't believe it? I saved her.
You in a sense of the word, yeah.
No,
I don't think you saved her life, but you definitely saved, a piece of her. Come on now.
I walk over.
Yeah, you walk over, you jump in the trap door, you close it and lock it behind you. While that's happening, right as you lock it, you hear the sound of like footsteps on glass outside of the hardware store. There is like another group of people that are up there. You didn't notice before. And the woman with the bangs, she says, she looks at you all and just goes shh, and puts her fingers to her lips. And you hear them walk around, hear them take a couple of like things off of the wall, and then you hear the sound of glass crunching, crunch, 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 as they sort of leave the store. She says, "God damn cultists. They're here. They've been raiding the store every like 6 months for the last 5 years." And it's,
I don't know how long.
who knows how long. This is a well-stocked store. It used to be way more well-stocked than what you see it now.
This is deeply impressive. As someone who frequents hardware stores, that this is so well stocked for not being well stocked.
Thanks to you. It's not mine. It belonged to some asshole named Blackthorn who got himself killed when the monster came around. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
New cannon.
When she mentions not well stocked, like a single tear drops down my eye, and I take out my hanky, and I just wipe it away because there's no Raisin Bran.
How did you all get here? You must have. Is it as everyone else who has come here? You hit some sort of transmental portal. You hit a time loop. You came to the gas station. Is this sounding about right?
Yeah, as previously described, we're from East Vashon, and we were driving up to a mission where monster hunters, and we pulled over to the gas station and then did not take a correct turn and kept coming home.
Well, you've made it further than most people at this point. I would usually be going out to collect the bodies and whatever else happened to remain of their supplies. And you see a like collection in the corner of just like random like clothes and camping gear, some stacks of books that are all of like different shapes and sizes, and it's like clearly those are the previous adventurers who had come here and had not made it as far as you guys have.
I start realizing the situation that we're in, and it dawns on me that the monster got its hand cut off, and I look at Pierce and I go, "Did you do that?"
Who else would have done it? Of course I did that.
Why would you do that?
What do you mean, why would I do that? It ate and...
It is a poor monster that needs to get home.
It
is fighting for its life.
Me is what it was trying to do.
Yeah, how do you know that? What do you know?
He did see it run away with like its like arm bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know that it's homesick.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised you even came back for us.
That poor monster is homesick. I know what it's like to be homesick.
You're always a little too much on the monster side. This is a vampire all over again.
When I was
I need blood to live. They're a predator. Jonk.
Talk to it.
I need blood.
Quit talking to them and shoot them with fire. You have one job,
It's
Spellslinger.
fighting for its life. We can help it and it won't
and it
hurt
will
us
continue
anymore.
to fight for its life when I stick my sword into it.
Then don't stick your sword in it. It is homesick.
Jank, I cannot do
If
this.
we
and
get it home-
get your gold tooth out of my face. I can't deal with you right now.
The woman with the straight hair and bangs trips up and says, "On the note of getting this thing home, I think you might be able to help with that." And she turns and pulls down like a projector. What do you call that? Like a white piece of canvas that you project onto, and turns on like one of those old overhead things that you had in elementary school.
The light ones.
The overhead
yeah.
projector with the plastic slide on it that you write on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She takes out this overhead and writes, "My name is Dr. Does Well." And she
Hell yeah.
and
Have you
she
guys been watching Kite Man?
yeah.
Madam does well.
Continue.
And she just writes it out on the top. "Dr. Does Well. Good to meet you. And she writes out, my research is in transdimensional physics, and writes out transdimensional physics.
I'm looking for something to write on. And with.
Now, she says that through my research, I initially thought that portals were impossible. They just didn't really make sense. We've all heard of wormholes, but we've never seen one in practice, and my calculations led me to believe that it didn't exist. I was proven wrong about 5 years ago, when there was a meteor shower.
Whoa.
Something landed on the outside of town. She draws a meteor, like a meteor impacting Earth, and she says, every 5 years, the Centaurus meteor shower makes its way through the city. 5 years ago, we were unlucky enough to have been hit by one of those meteors just outside the town, not too far from the gas station. This is when everything went wrong. Everything I knew about physics went out the window.
Or perhaps did it?
Dun, dun, dun.
Perhaps it went out the portal is a better way to say it. You probably noticed sort of the glitching that had been coming around this town. You noticed the fog and how it's been mixed with some sort of gross gas almost. You've noticed these things that you've walked through the town, right? Mm-hmm. These are all things that happened directly after the meteor hit. The time loop, the problem with not being able to leave this town, and most of all, this awful beast came in about 3 years ago. We had had a pretty peaceful life until that thing came in. We had came together as a community. We had managed to find a way to live. I was working on my research here to get us out. She points to the lab bench that is filled with like beakers and calculations and computer screens, and is actually like in a small little box. It is simulating the glitching effect that you saw, where you see like a test tube just blinking in and out of existence, but it's like much more regular, like it's predictable. And so she says, 5 years ago, this awful beast showed up, and that is what separated the community. Blackthorn died. It was me and Nichelle who were holding things down, and worst of all, the cultists. Half the town seemingly wants to worship this thing for reasons that I don't understand. And however, that is where you guys come in.
Usually you put a monster, you put humans around it, and they get to worshiping. Some of them relate a little too easily.
Certainly. Yes, absolutely. She relates to you on like an intellectual level. Mm-hmm. Up until this point, myself and Nichelle never had the power, the strength or will to be able to take on the cultists. The cultists are mean and nasty, and they more than once have done their fair share of damage. And she actually like pulls up her shirt to show like the bottom of her belly a little bit, and you see like an acid splash damage almost. And she puts it back down and says, however, as you have proven yourselves to be quite useful, perhaps we can help each other out, get out of this situation. If you bring me close to the meteor, distract the cultists, distract the beast, I think we might be able to solve this. There aren't that many cultists left, fortunately.
How many would you say are left?
There's probably only they initially started as a group of 50, but just their proximity to the meteor, the proximity to all this time loop glitching has made some of them age too fast. Some of them walked into the time loop and they managed to escape somehow, never to return. Some of them passed through the portal itself, screaming the entire way.
That's not a number.
We've driven past.
There are maybe about 3 left.
Okay.
So we drove past this town, maybe like, we'll say, who knows how many, but twice. Where is this meteor? We didn't really see it coming in.
The meteor is it is further into the woods past the gas station. You might have noticed that the gas station had the strongest glitching effect in that the entire building blinked out of existence for a minute. It's been doing that pretty consistently.
I had no idea.
I blinked. I missed it.
Yeah. As you get closer towards the gas station, you'll go further into the woods. That is where the cultists have their hideout. That is where the meteor and the portal to this other dimension, that is where it is centered on, and that is where we have to destroy the meteor, defeat the monster, defeat the cultists, and hopefully break this time loop.
Can we maybe not kill the monster?
She doesn't. She looks at you like, "What do you mean?" Like she squints at you like, with like a sort of a squint and open mouth. Like, no, we have to kill the monster. This thing's been torturing us for 3 years. The entire town.
Do you think possibly you were torturing it?
What? No, absolutely. She thinks. It never crossed my mind even for a second. No.
Well, it clearly just wants to go home. And it's probably been trying to get home for this entire time. I know what it's like to be homesick. When I was a kid, my dad left, and it was just me and my mom, and she just kept burning money at the horse tracks. And we lost our little home.
Just lighting money out of fire.
Not even betting on the horses.
Yeah. Just out front.
I know
Straight into a tragic backstory.
what it's like to want to be able to go home but can't. You just get angry and you lash out, and when you don't have the way to communicate that, it can be pretty bad. And there's no one here that he can even talk to.
She says, well, I don't have any evidence to support the contrary. Perhaps you were right. Well,
Can we make the portal? Can we possibly turn it into a pulse reverse? Can we reverse the polarity to make the portal suck in the glitch instead of having it push out the glitch?
roll plus charm. Roll manipulate someone. Roll plus charm.
Oh God, that's a -1. 6.
You can use a luck point if you want.
I'm gonna use a luck point.
Okay. Mark luck. And mark experience. So on a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. If you ask too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it. She says, okay, let me entertain this idea for a moment. This thing probably came from the other dimension, right? It came from wherever its home is and is currently lashing out in anger for the last 3 years to try and get itself home, right? Yes, it is possible that we could reverse the polarity. Amazing that you know that, by the way. And we
reads
can
many
potentially
books.
undo the damage that is being done to this town. However, we have to act fast, considering that the meteor shower is tonight. Again, the effects are going to only increase as time goes on. And as she says those words, you see the top of the basement blink out of existence. And the top part of Blackthorn's hardware store is gone. And she says, case in point.
Now, it is just a theory. When I was reading my magazines in the dump, it said that possibly with that polarity shift, it could time warp us back to the moment that the crater first struck and bring back safety to the town.
Roll investigate a mystery. I'm going to say that you're like, you have read enough from your various conspiracy magazines that have enough of like science in it that you do kind of understand the experiments just a touch that are being presented in front of you.
There is a physicist who takes his old magazines to the dump quite frequently.
Yeah, that's right. He has a subscription to Nature magazine by proximity.
Yeah.
And is actually well read in terms of academic literature.
That's sharp, right?
Yep, Bro plus Sharp.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hold 1. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
What is the ability of the polarity switch within does that theory hold?
It certainly does hold weight. And here's the thing is I want to be able to help you, but just asking to reverse the polarity, that's too much. I'm going to need some extra special equipment that is currently stored in the diner.
Oh my god.
I have a polarity reversal mechanism that is currently being stored in my workshop in the kitchen of the diner. We have to acquire that, and once we have it, we can make our way to the crater site, and maybe we can send this thing home. At the very least, it'll get me out of this goddamn town, and you guys too.
I have a portal polarity reversing potion. I like that.
Holy plot armor MacGuffin.
There's no holes.
Guys, I wanna save this town. I wanna save that monster. It hit me with just the burning of the money and hit me right in my heartstrings.
Sure, Jonk. Sure. If you can talk that monster into waiting while we reverse the polarity, then we will save the monster. But if it attacks, we take it down.
Or we can just be a little bit more sneaky. You know, my voice keeps changing.
It's the tooth. It messes with the frequency at which you...
Do you guys want to? I have the keys to the diner if we want to go get it. I don't think I told you that.
Yeah, I say that we rally and we head on over there. I mean, we got some weapons just in case. We got the brains and we got the brands in the van, which is still at the gas station because it's broken. So I say, let's hurry up and get some stuff going. Let's get this show on the road so we can fix, again, my car.
You walk your way towards the diner, and it's a crisp, cool night. You see the stars are as bright as they can be because as the flickering of the street lamps continues around you. The flickering is getting stronger in that you see other businesses on this main drag also clip out of existence for like just a second and then come back, and then just a second and then come back. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes they're like more futuristic. Sometimes they look like they're from medieval times, like all over the place. Except the diner seems to be somewhat stable for now. You see the light, the sign is flickering, but for the most part, the building seems to be stable. You put your keys in the door and it unlocks.
Okay, y'all. I don't know what's behind this door. My voice keeps changing. Well, I'm gonna go in.
Go right ahead. You first.
Dr. Deswell walks in front of you actually and says, "No, me first. I need to get this. I need to get my machine and then we will get out of here. Toot sweet." And she makes a beeline for the back and she brings out what looks like effectively like a proton pack from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Where she loads it onto her back. It's this like giant bulky thing. And she says, "All right, I have one shot to make this work. There is enough charge in this thing to, I don't know, maybe reverse the polarity. It can at least destroy the portal. I know that.
Okay.
So you got to get me close enough." And then, holy shit, what is that? And you look outside and there is a group of 4 cultists that have made their way outside of the diner, and they're currently enrobed, and their robes are like the same color as like the goo almost from that monster. The light is currently shining on them from the diner and like flickering almost menacingly.
I go, lock the door and put the close sign up.
Is everybody inside?
Everyone's inside.
I'm gonna use. I'm gonna get weird.
All right. Dr. Does Well jumps behind a booth and like hides and says, "Damn it, I thought there were only 3. I don't know where that 4th one come from."
I'm gonna go. Was the close sign flipped?
Yeah.
Did you lock the door?
Well, about to. Bar a place or portal to a specific person or a type of creatures. So then me, that's like you can block it off.
Yeah. Right. Roll magic to start with.
7.
Okay, 7 to 9. Choose your effect and choose a glitch.
No, 7 total.
Yeah. So choose your effect and choose a glitch.
You take 1 harm, ignore armor is the glitch, and the effect is a bar place. So I close everything in the apartment becomes in the area becomes blocked off.
Okay, sure. So so take a harm, mark that. There is describe the kind of magical seal that you put on this place. Is it made with like symbols? Is it like hard light, kind of like your trap from earlier on the dragon? What do you want to do?
I
It just
pull,
says no frog here.
I pull out my lighter and I light it and I kind of like hold it up, kind of like I'm going to take a smoke, like take a cigarette, and I go, and then a wall kind of comes up between all of the windows and the wall, and it's just my toothless smile, just kind of like smiling back at them, and it's just kind of like that, kind of repeated on all the openings.
Sure, yeah. One of the cultists goes and attacks you and is immediately rebuffed and bam, like it's thrown back across the street from your powerful spell. And so Doctor Does Well, currently hunkered behind one of the vinyl booths, says, "Okay, that's great, but we still have to get out of here and make our way to the gas station."
Have you guys ever heard of big magic? We need like 3 or 4 people to do a ritual, and we could possibly get out of this situation with some crazy big magic.
You know, I've never dabbled, but I'll try anything once.
What do you have planned?
We either need to spend a lot of time, days, or maybe even weeks.
I get to pick what this is going to be.
I don't think we have.
No backseat DMing?
I am going to say this is going to take days to cast. You're casting a teleportation spell. Is that what's going on here?
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
I'm going to say that this is going to take days to cast. This is going to take longer than more time than what you have. And as that you start proposing this,
Okay.
the diner like blinks in and out of existence.
Okay, guys, I don't think it's a good idea.
Or it requires a sacrifice. You can speed it up, but you have to take a life to do it.
We already did.
A new one.
Damn it.
All right.
Shit. An IOU?
All right, guys. We all know I'm right-handed. Would chopping off my left hand be a good enough blood sacrifice for this to work?
You want to take off your left arm. Take off. You want us to cut off your left arm.
That is not a life. That is an arm. If you want to do this, you're going to have to go dark blood magic with it.
Yeah, I
You're
got
gonna
a
have to
question.
get. You're gonna have to get real evil.
How
you guys-
attached are we to these cultists?
God, I don't really want to. I'm trying to save the town. I don't want to really kill the town. So I take back that.
You've always been too soft for this work.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's maybe we can just mosey on back over to the gas station. Then we can just walk like normal people.
I'm gonna get. So your plan is to run for it,
Walk for it.
speed walk for it.
Speed walk for it.
Okay, well,
Run if necessary.
okay,
but
well, if you're speed walking pro Olympic rules, your feet both your neither of
least
your feet
one
can
foot.
lift the at least
At
one
least
foot
one
has to be
foot
on the
on the-
ground. Yeah, that's right.
I'm familiar.
I pull out my magic dagger in my left and my magnum in my right. And I guess I'm just ready for whatever these two idiots want to do. And I look at Jen and I'm like, really? That's what you wanted to go with? And I like motion my head to Gold Tooth over there.
I have another idea.
You're so chock full of them.
I'm going to summon a monster that looks identical to the frog mammoth, the frog
Froghemoth.
yeah, froghemoth.
You know, it's a
Jank,
good.
just to get this straight, you're gonna summon another monster while we're trying to deal with one.
You know what a really good
Yes.
idea is? If there's a gun problem, if you just throw more guns at it.
Now we're talking, Jan. Let's shoot some cultists. And I take my magnum and I try to aim. Is the wall still up?
You're gonna I go, no, man, you're gonna kill us all.
I go, Jank, does this let things in and out, or
Only one way to find out.
I shoot towards the nearest cultist?
Okay, roll kick some ass.
Hit the floor.
So that's plus tough.
Do I roll magic?
We'll do his first, and then we'll get to you.
9 minus 1, 8.
7 plus, you and whatever you're inflicting, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm is based on established dangers in the game. Okay, you are going to take. So you deal 2 harm to the cultist.
My magnum is 3.
3. You deal 3 harm, and the cultist keels over. He's done in one hit, and you see him sort of like it hits him right in the chest, and so his feet fly up, and he's on the ground, and he's dead.
The magnum hits me.
I am going to say that Jank's barrier lets things through at a cost, and so
Junk.
Jonk. Jonk's barrier lets them through at a cost, and in the exact opposite direction. That it seems. So when the bullet hits the barrier, it comes out of one of the mouths of like Jank's little like neon signs, and directly comes back at you. I'm gonna say take 1 harm.
Okay. So I get hit with like a magic bullet.
Yeah.
I go, son of a bitch, Jank. And I look towards Jan and I go, Jan, that's how you do it.
I'm on the floor. I thought I was gonna ricochet back. Sorry.
Smart.
It's Jonk.
Listen here, Gold Tooth. All right.
I go, excellent shot. Does that count as a sacrifice?
You say it into the ether.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking the group because, like,
Oh my god, I'm feeling the magic from this sacrifice.
You're too soft for this, Jank.
You got to give me more than just I feel the magic of the sacrifice. You got to give me some more role play for me to give this to you.
All right.
role play. Role play.
Do the voice.
As the body hits the floor, I cast the.
Yeah. You hear that? The cultists start chanting.
I
Too old to headbang. That hurt my neck.
I'm getting weird with it, and I'm going to create a portal under. I'm gonna take my ladder, flick the blick, start spinning it around, and it creates 2 circles. One kind of right near us, and one on the ceiling, and one over where the dead body is, to teleport the dead body into our sanctuary.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, choose an extra effect. Or the magic works without issues, choose your effect. Yeah, you teleport the body into the diner. Dr. Does Well says, what's going on? Why did you teleport a body in here? They're supposed to stay outside. This person was my neighbor. He may be a cultist, but I went to high school with him.
And now he's dead, Doctor.
Doctor.
He was my neighbor.
Was being the key word.
I thought he was dead. He's not. And we had a big fight. And this is mostly why I fought him, is because he hurts people. I'm gonna
Because I have to. It's the job.
But he makes a point. We're gonna have to use the situation for what it is. We reuse, recycle. We're gonna take this body and we're gonna teleport us out of here.
I'm going to say that You understand physics pretty well. You do not understand magic very well. Pierce, as the expert in things all occult, what do you do you first off agree to help Jonk? And second of all, if you do, what are you going to do?
I look to Jonk and I know he's a terrible spell slinger, great conspiracy theorist. And I go, it's always me saving your ass.
I'm a physicist.
And I am going to help by actually inscribing the correct runes for the portal.
Into?
The ground.
All right.
With the magic dagger.
Okay, sure. Yep.
We're going to move the body into one circle and then have another circle on the side.
All right, sure.
What do the runes look like?
Have you ever seen Harry Dresden the show?
No, describe it with your words.
Oh, wow.
You ever played hopscotch before?
So I'm scribbling on the ground a giant pentagram, and in the pentagram, I'm putting down Norse runes. So you get like a weird Y, you get a weird K.
Sure, yeah.
And I look to Jonk and I go ahead, Jonk, do your magic. Jan, don't be like Jonk.
Yeah, Jan, what are you doing while this is happening?
I've already crawled over to the booth to sit next to Dr. Doswell, and I'm like kind of comforting her, where I'm like, yeah, it's okay. You know, sometimes you get bad neighbors, you got bad eggs, you got good eggs. Sometimes they're better off this way, you know? For the sake, something utilitarian, for the sake of many, one must get shot and murdered. But I think that this is going to work. I have good confidence in these guys. These guys are really good at magic, and they'll be able to get to the gas station and save the world.
Sure. While all this is happening, I'd say that you set up the runes correctly, and there is too much interdimensional interference going on here between the portal on the other side of town, between the magic that you guys are trying to do, and you achieve your portal, but only in a very strange way. First off, you look away and then you look back down, and the cultist has the legs of Nichelle and the torso of the cultist. Like, they are currently meshed together somehow, and the legs of the cultist are currently outside where Nichelle used to be. And as you look outside to those legs, the town, like the where the hardware store is and where you were running down the street earlier, you can see the glow of the gas station far off in the distance, and the town folds together into, you see a giant rift open up in the middle. The town falls down like a piece of like crisply folded paper, and it doesn't so much teleport you as folds the town in two, such that you are now the diner and the gas station are next to each other.
I've seen this in a movie before.
Yeah.
I go, look, it worked.
And the cultists that are out there are currently like freaking out because they're like effectively a giant earthquake happened, and so they're all on all fours trying to not fall over.
Did any of them fall into the rift?
They did not know.
I'm going to go, good job, fellas, and then I'm going to start making my way to the door to get to the gas station.
All right, you open the door and the cultists see you and take pursuit. So the four of you, Jan, Pierce, Jonk, and Dr. Deswell, you make a beeline for the gas station, and she says, run past the gas station, run past it. And as you make your way around, you see that there is a path into the woods behind the gas station.
As we're running, I'm shooting behind me towards the cultists, wherever they are.
Roll kick some ass.
Come on, dice. Don't fuck me here. And they did. 3.
Mark experience. As you're firing back.
Can I do a luck?
Yes, you may.
Do we have 3 or 4 left?
You have 3.
So I've used 2, so I have 1 left.
Okay. Yeah, so you deal harm. One of the cultists goes down. There's 2 left. As you're sort of looking back, you trip on a root, and you take 1 harm as well.
Okay.
I turn around and I go, Pierce, come on, again, what are you doing? We gotta go.
We don't want them interfering.
Who's leading the pack? I'm going to say...
I think it's me because I walked out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll act under pressure to navigate the woods.
Yeah, I'm probably last since I'm shooting behind myself.
I'm behind him.
Oh, yeah, you're behind me. I'm just casually shooting.
6.
So mark experience. You get lost in the woods. You
That checks out.
take a left, you take a right, you take another left and another right, and you go forward for a little bit. You cannot seem to find your direction in the woods. While that's happening, you hear that same slurping sound come from somewhere in the woods. It's dark, you can't see anything, and it is getting louder and closer. Dr. Doeswell says, shit, I can't believe I let you lead. I knew the way. What are we doing here?
Why did you let her lead?
We were being pursued. There was gunshots. I'm not built for this. I'm a scientist.
I'm going to stop and go, yeah, give me a second. And I squat down on the trail and I lick my finger, hold it up to gauge the wind, stick it in the dirt, lick the dirt off my finger. And then I'm going to use my move panic button, which is when you need to escape, name the route you'll try and roll plus sharp. So I'm like,
All right.
we got to go this way.
Do it.
I'm pointing to the left, gentle left. That is an 8. So
What are the effects?
on a 7 and 9, you can go or stay, but if you go, it's going to cost you. Leave something behind or something comes with you.
All right.
On a miss, you're caught halfway out.
Okay, so yeah, leave something behind or something comes with you.
I'm going to ditch the fire axe and just drop it, but not realize I dropped it.
Okay, sure. Yep.
Do we all have to lose something?
No, just Jan. And so you figure out, retrace your steps a little bit, and you make you go backwards, you take a right, you take a left, you retrace, and you eventually come to a clearing in the woods where you see a soft red glow coming from a clearing. This whole time, there's that slow slurping sound, just coming around you. It feels like you're being hunted. This thing doesn't want to see you, but it can't control the slurping sounds that it makes. Or it doesn't want it to be seen. And as you get closer, Dr. Deswell says, okay, here we are. So you see that over there, and you peer through the woods, and you see a glowing red meteor, and above it you see a tear in space-time. You see a vertical rip, someone like a rip in a piece of fabric. And she says, that's it. If we destroy
We reverse the polarity?
hang on, I'm getting there. If we destroy the meteor, that will at least destabilize this already. It'll further destabilize this tear in space-time. At which point, that's the perfect moment for me to use the anti-polarity pack, and that should be able to make a short one-way portal from here to wherever this thing came from before it closes. If you really want to save this thing, that's your opportunity. But we're gonna have to play this smart, and looks at all of you.
And I give her a worried look and a head move to Goldtooth.
She gives you a knowing look back.
I salute.
We nod knowingly.
Yeah.
She says, "Okay, you ready?"
As ready as we'll ever be.
I shoot the rock.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Roll act under pressure.
It's a 3 plus 0.
Mark experience.
Do you want to use your luck?
Oh, hell yeah. Actually, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
You
So
can still mark your experience.
Yeah. I'm going to do both. I'm gonna expend a luck and mark experience.
Okay, so you get a chip off of the meteor, and the rift in space-time blinks for just a second. However, at this point, the Froghemoth lunges out of the trees, screeching that awful sound that I described earlier, and leaving this big wake of goo coming from the top of its mouth. Also, the remaining 2 cultists jump out of the woods and see the 4 of you, and they scream, "He is our savior! He will bring peace upon the earth! Eliminate the heretics!" And
Go
they
kiss
start
him.
charging towards you.
I look towards Jonk and I go, Jonk, now's the moment. I'll try to hold them off as much as I can. You got to blow up that rock, man.
You describe what you're doing in the scene first, and we'll see where it fits.
I So I got to destroy the rock.
You have two cultists coming at you. You have the rock in front of you, and you have the Froghemoth also attempting to attack you.
And Dr. Deswell told us...
Dr. Deswell is hiding in the bushes behind you.
Yeah, but she told us that we need to destroy the rock.
Yes, you do.
Okay. I start running, and I just sprint towards the rock.
Are you trying to destroy it?
I'm going to be sprinting towards the rock.
Okay, roll act under pressure.
Act under pressure. So that's 2d20. And that's cool, correct?
Plus cool. Yeah, plus cool.
9.
Okay. You can get to the rock, but the Froghemoth is going to attack you.
Not my fault. +1 to act under pressure when you are dealing with the consequence of your own spell casting. No, this is not my spell casting.
Nope.
I was going to punch it.
You're a spell slinger. You're going to punch the rock.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Roll plus tough.
Plus tough. I'm a tough son of a gun. 8.
The Froghemoth is going to grasp you, is going to use its remaining intact hand, and it holds you and it squeezes you, and it like you feel one of your shoulders pop in a bad way. Take 1 harm. But you manage to, before it fully grasps you, you got a leg between the palm of its hand and your body, and so while it squeezes you, you can break free just with like the power of your legs. Pierce and Jan, what are you guys doing?
I am dual wielding. Is the Froghemoth behind us?
It is in front of you, so it is
Right in front of me.
The Froghemoth is so there's you and Jan shoulder to shoulder. There's the scientist behind you, Dr. Deswell. There's 2 cultists to your right, the Froghemoth that is currently holding Jonk, and then the portal and meteor beyond them.
Jan, your number 1 mission is to protect the doctor. And then I'm going to shoot at one of the cultists.
Okay, roll kick some ass.
I was about to yell at you.
Roll plus tough.
6. I have gotten enough experience to level up.
Do a level, yeah, level up. So you missed on your kick some ass. Okay.
I'm going to take another expert move. I think Precise Strike is what I will take.
What is that?
Precise Strike. When you inflict harm on a monster, you can aim for a weak spot. Roll plus tough. On a 10 plus, you inflict +2 harm. On a 7 to 9, you inflict +1 harm. On a miss, you leave yourself open to the monster.
Okay, here's what I'll say I am going to do. I get to, because you missed, I am going to say that you're sort of moving towards the cultists to try and get a better shot almost. And as you're hyper focused on attacking them, you have completely ignored the Froghemoth, and the Froghemoth swipes at you, and you go through the portal.
Through the portal.
Through the portal, yeah, that's right. So he attacks you and swipes at you, and you first off take 1 harm.
Okay. I am now unstable.
Okay, yeah, you have dislocated your shoulder, and is only going to get worse unless you get someone to help stabilize you. And woof, you go through the portal. Jan, what are you doing before we get back to Pierce?
He said stay and protect the scientist, but I'm aware that she has a proton pump essentially on her back.
Proton pack. I think proton pump is what gives you acid reflux.
It does, because PPI is proton pump inhibitors.
Yes, that's
are
right.
actually,
I am well familiar with.
Nerds.
Protonics, perhaps.
I'm in my early 30s. It's a way of life at this point.
I get the heartburn. I don't learn about the heartburn.
I am a
Proton
healthcare
pack.
person.
Yes, right. She has a proton pack. She can defend herself.
And maybe a PPI. I don't know. Maybe she also has GERD. I am going to. I just saw everything go so sideways so fast, so I'm going to go ahead and go use my move. What could go wrong? And I'm going to attack the rock with some nunchucks.
Okay, I'm going to get you to act under pressure to close the distance between you and the rock. So roll plus cool.
Bruce Lee on a rock. Not the cultist, not the monster.
I'm going to expend some luck because that's just 6.
Okay, how much luck do you have left?
I've only used 2 lucks.
Okay, but you only have 3 in the game.
Yeah.
This is the
Oh,
second
this is your
one.
second one.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you do what you set out to do. Describe how you make your way through the battlefield.
I put my gun away and I go to my left hip and I take out my nunchucks, give them a twirl and like get them in the ready position, you know, where you're holding one and like holding the other over your shoulders.
Yep.
I'm gonna squat down, head down, and make a sprint for the rock.
Okay, as you dodge through this battlefield that is illuminated by the soft red glow of the meteor, you pass Jonk currently fighting his way out of the grip.
I forgot that this could let me do a take +2 on an act under pressure, but I'm still gonna go with the luck expense chart.
I'll let you like reverse the luck. You use that for another point because I forget what do your dice say there?
They say 6.
Okay, 6 plus 2 is 8, so it would be a mixed success. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, I am going to say that you get your way there. You successfully attack the meteor, and it begins. There's a big crack that happens in the middle of it. It's not quite separated, but it's almost there. However, you lose your balance as you're using your nunchucks and fall through the portal as well. Now back to before we get to you two, Jonk, what are you doing? You are currently you are grasped by this froghemoth, and there are 2 cultists that are making your way towards you.
Oh man, I have.
2 of your friends have fallen through the portal, but you haven't noticed yet.
I haven't noticed. Okay, I haven't noticed.
You have not. You do not know that they are
You
through
were
the
getting
portal.
squeezed by the monster.
Okay.
You are currently face to face with Froghemoth's fist.
With what?
Face to face with Froghemoth's fist.
You see this magic from the ether just flow into me, and I break free from. I try to break free from the behemoth, run towards the rock, and just punch it.
Okay, I'm going to get you to roll to act under pressure to break out of this.
I thought he did break free.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did.
He had already broken free.
Yeah, that's true. So you are currently standing in front of the Froghemoth.
So then, instead of having to break free, I then start running towards the rock. So if I'm free, do I not see them get?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like currently engaged in combat with the beast.
I'm assuming that I don't see them. I'm assuming that the cultists got them, or they're hiding somewhere because I have to do all the work in this party. As I run towards the rock, the magic from the mists around us start enveloping around me, and I'm gonna get weird with it, and I'm gonna punch the rock.
Okay, roll. Are you trying to use magic on this?
Yeah, so the spell is
Roll use magic, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Nice. Works. Choose your effect.
Do one thing that is beyond human limitations.
Sweet. We're going to pause right there and come back to Jan and Pierce. Roll plus sharp, both of you.
Oh God.
What's your
For the
plus
love of
sharp, Tom?
Christ.
4, 5, 6 plus 1 because I'm a genius. 7.
I got a 5.
Pierce marked experience. Jan, you got a 5?
I got a 7.
You got a 7.
Who's the idiot now, huh?
So you both fall
Jonk.
through the portal,
Okay.
and you find yourself hitting like cobblestone streets. And you look up and you find yourselves
An old fan.
in a medieval town. And you look around, and the place is currently being attacked by half hyena creatures. You see small raccoons jumping from rooftop to rooftop, making their way towards a magician's auto shop. You see a couple of badly disguised bears making their way towards a convention center.
Oh my God.
In the midst of all of this chaos, you see the doorway back, but it is currently blocked by one of these half hyena creatures. And you blink and you see it flicker into into a froghemoth. And then flicker back to a hyena, and then flicker back into a froghemoth, and back into a hyena. It doesn't seem to know that it's flickering between these two states, but it looks at you and screeches. And as it flickers to froghemoth state, the tooth tentacles let out a bunch of gross drool coming out, and then it flicks back to hyena state. It's just a hyena mouth yelling at you. What do you do?
I shoot the hyena.
Roll kick some ass.
Quick question. Yeah. How many shots has he done?
I've done 4.
Okay.
I've kept track.
Excellent.
Fucking finally. I got... What was it? Kick some ass? So it's a tough?
Plus tough.
I got 7.
Okay, so yeah, you attack the hyena creature, whatever those are called, and it takes a hit, and it's never experienced something like this before, and so it freaks out and runs away, still kind of flickering between the froghemoth state and the hyena state, and takes off down an alleyway. Jan, what do you do?
After watching that, I'm gonna head for the portal.
All right, you make your way back to the portal, and whoop, you jump through back towards your reality. While this is happening, you see Jonk. You see Jonk. As soon as your feet exit the portal, Jonk strikes the meteor, and it finishes cracking in half. And the red glow from all around you dissipates, but the portal is still there for a brief moment, and you see it stabilize for a second, and you can see the town. You can see this medieval town that is currently under attack from you see a group of 4 adventurers, a half-orc, a gnome, a halfling, and a human.
Is there a giant fireball through the sky too, or no?
There is a giant fireball in the sky, actually, yeah. And you see the clock tower falling out into the big marketplace.
Surprisingly, we see Madame Doeswell, and she looks exactly like Dr. Doeswell.
That's right. However, the froghemoth is still there, and while you're all gazing lovingly at this alternate reality, it is going to grasp Jonk. Roll plus tough.
Talk to it, Jonk. I say sarcastically.
I go.
It's your friend.
We have to cross the beams.
11.
Nice.
You mean reverse?
As it goes to grasp and take hold of you, it looks hungry. It's going to try and eat you, but you manage to break free, and it gives you the option for an attack. How do you harm this thing?
Suplex it through the portal.
I'd throw it back into the portal.
This 1,000-pound monster.
Do I still have the magic of the mists?
You do not. Okay, I can't give you that just yet. I will say you can inflict harm on this thing.
Okay.
But
Let me think about this. Let me look at my. Yeah, no. I'm gonna. Can I use magic and try to hit him again?
sure, yeah. Mark experience. While you try to use magic, it attacks you instead. It makes a quick swing at you and misses wide. Unfortunately, you escape unscathed. Dr. Doeswell walks up and says, "You need to weaken this thing more before we push it through the portal. If you're going to send it home now, otherwise kick its ass and be done with it."
I stare pointedly at Jonk.
Pierce, what are you doing?
How close is it to us? It's
You are
right
face to face with it, and there's cultists behind you as well.
Okay, so I have 1 bullet left. Got my magical dagger. I'm gonna.
still in the portal.
No,
We
out.
jumped through.
Oh, I thought she jumped out.
You both jumped out.
Yeah, we both jumped out. I'm going to try to stab its side.
Okay. Roll kick some ass.
Please, dice. Please be good to me. I do nothing but love you. And they do not. 3.
Dude, Mark experience.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. They're being so mean to me today.
The cultists jump from behind you and are currently on your back. You are restrained. Take 1 harm.
Ooh. I want to, because I am at 5. I want to do, it wasn't as bad as it looked, which is one of my skills. Once per mystery, you may attempt to keep going despite your injuries. Roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, heal 2 harm and stabilize your wounds. On a 7 to 9, you may either stabilize or heal 1 harm. On a miss, it was worse than it looked.
It
The
was
keeper,
worse.
the keeper may inflict a harm move on you or make your wounds unstable.
All right, roll it.
Should I change dice?
Nah.
Nah.
Low rolls are more interesting.
I'm gonna die. Ooh, finally. I may not die, guys. Plus cool. That's 9.
Nice.
I stabilize and heal 1 harm. So I'm back down to 4.
Yep.
But I'm stable.
Yep. Jan, what are you doing in this scenario? You are currently passed through the portal into back from some peaceful medieval fantasy. There are cultists to your left, and there is a froghemoth to your right.
The peaceful medieval fantasy involved a town getting attacked by hyena
A
gnolls.
peaceful medieval fantasy.
And a giant fireball.
Giant.
A peaceful medieval fantasy.
Yeah.
For half a second, you felt like, for some reason, performing.
Yeah, there's some bars going on over there. So you two both messed up your attacks pretty bad, huh?
I dodged and had an opportunity to attack and missed.
Am I right next to the froggy myth?
Mm-hmm.
We've got to weaken or kill it.
How close are the cultists?
Within striking distance.
One of them's restraining me now?
One's on, one of them is is on Pierce's back. The other one is about to start attacking you.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna turn to them and go. Put my hands up. I go, hey buds. Listen, this thing's your savior, yeah. We gotta help save it, so it can continue to save you. It's too divine to exist in this realm.
Roll manipulate someone. Roll plus charm.
And the Taknu Jutsu continues.
7 + 2, so 9.
They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it.
I'm doing the Cotton Eye Joe again without music.
They,
You're just doing that as you talk?
No. I see the faces, the recognition and curiosity, and so I just do one round of the Cotton Eye Joe dance without humming it, no music, just to show that I mean it.
one of the cultists climbs off of Pierce's back in reverie of your amazing dancing abilities. Maybe it's something about the magic, the nearness to the magical portal to the medieval realm. But he stands and says, "You have been blessed with the movement of the divines." It is not the beast that is our savior. It is you. And they get on their knees and bow to you doing the Cotton Eye Joe.
Don't bow, you idiots. Help us.
He says, "What can we do to get your divine favor, O dancing one?"
We must use our ecological knowledge and get this froghemoth back through his portal so that he may be home and at peace.
They say, "We are your humble servants." What are you all doing? Are you... You have now 2 cultists under your thrall.
Let's do a community push.
I am going to get you all to roll act under pressure.
$11. Finally.
Oh, we... Finally, 10.
8.
That's great. I will say what happens is, however many of you are, there's 5 of you now, including the cultist. You
Plus Dr. Doeswell.
Dr. Doeswell is not involved in this transaction just yet.
All right.
And so you all manage to grab onto the froghemoth. It's screaming and like roaring and belching. And you're covered in this goo. In fact,
It's starting to sting a little bit.
Jank, you take 1 harm because you are the most covered with glue.
Junk.
You all manage to position yourself around the froghemoth, and you force it with one great push. You push it towards the portal, and almost as if it wants to go home, like one tendril of its mouth crosses the barrier, crosses the threshold, and whoop, it's completely sucked into into the portal. Unfortunately, the cultists were wrapped up in the moment, and they are sucked as well. And whoop!
I shout, "You've been blessed!"
And Dr. Does Well says, "Get down! We're doing it now!" And she pulls on the proton pack, and a large blue beam shoots directly at the portal, and it closes. And you are left in the silence of the middle of the forest. You slowly feel that same sense of earlier when it feels like you're underwater and you don't know which direction is up, and you feel things unwinding almost. You see the town is coming back up over the horizon. You see that the camera zooms out a bit from where you are, and you see the town unfold back to what its original state was. You see the way it was 5 years ago when it first got separated from the rest of the world. The gas station is now completely empty of stuff. As you make your way back towards the van, you see that as you approach, the van starts to reverse the damage that Jonk had caused.
Jonk.
Yeah, you see that it had the axle reattaches, the body reattaches to the chassis, and it is currently back in an operational state. And while you hear that, you hear the radio chirp on saying, "Centaur 6-4, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Where did you go? It was you're not supposed to be out of radio contact for more than an hour without prior notice."
Trust me, you don't want to know.
It's a good day. Oh, I only got one life, so I'm gonna make it mine.
Hey, folks, thanks again for listening. It's been really fun being back in the Dungeon Master chair for a little bit. If you like what you heard, leave us a 5-star review, or even better, tell a friend. If you really like what you heard, consider subscribing to our Patreon, where we'll have more one-shots like this. Give us a follow on TikTok, Instagram, or X, and as always, thank you for being a part of the society.